So we're live. Okay, welcome everyone. Hey, thank you for coming. Some of you, I know a lot of you in this room. For those we haven't met yet, welcome. I'm Jason Campbell. I'm a 6th degree master teacher with Zen Yoga and United Martial Arts. And what I would like to accomplish in the next 90 minutes is the primary goal is to give you a good understanding of the 7 chakras throughout the body. And we'll use the word chakra, and we'll also use the word dimension, the 7 dimensions. And chakra and dimensions are really pretty much synonymous. You know, if you look at a lot of the yoga traditions, they will usually use the word chakras. In some of the Taoist and Taoist medicine traditions, they'll use the word dimensions. And in about minutes from now, that will all make a lot of sense, how they are synonymous. But let me get a little background. Who here, raise your hand if you've studied the chakras before. I mean, I know obviously the staff, hopefully you've all studied the chakras. Raise your hand if this is like when you read the poster that said chakra workshop, it was your first time hearing about chakras. Anyone? Perfect. Okay, good. So, and then how about this? If I put you on the spot and if I said explain the yin-yang, explain the om, and explain the lotus flower, who could come up here and ace it? I just hand you the microphone, you do the teaching, and I get to be a student. Anyone here? Okay, perfect. So we can start with some of that, because that's kind of the background for the 7 chakras. But we'll start with this. With the chakras, a chakra is an energy center in the body, and it goes up the body, and there are 7 of them. And you have a diagram, and I'll write some of this out here. But it basically starts here, and it goes to here. And they're different energy centers, if that makes any sense. And then so it's like if you notice when you breathe, I know most of you here have taken a foundation class. And the first thing is learning how to breathe here, and to breathe low, and to get the like the focus and the concentration right around your 1st and 2nd chakra, as opposed to this like a high chest breathing. And that's, you know, so we start here and then we actually work our way up with the chakras. But before that, let's just start with this. Yin and yang. Okay, so this will be yin and yang made simple. So raise your hand if you've seen this symbol before, like before the class. Okay, so yeah, you have yin and yang. And actually, what this is, you see, and this ties into the chakras, is that anything that you write is going to be 2-dimensional. So the yin and yang is a 2-dimensional representation of something that's actually 3-dimensional. So when you picture this, picture a ball or an orb. And that orb spins. I mean, you do this, you know, and that's like a traditional way of writing yin and yang. But you got to think of it in terms of a ball. And what that does is it throws off a proton and a neutron. And it spins, and it's like some of the most, let's say, fundamental building blocks of form. And another way of looking at this is you have a positive and a negative charge in what yin and yang is. Because if you break down like form or matter, you and I, everything, this pen, this mat, and everything, is you will break it down to like its fundamental level, is you get a positive charge and you get a negative charge. And if you get into quantum physics, you get into quarks. We probably won't get into that today, but very simply is you have this. And so the yin-yang symbol is symbolic of that, and it's symbolic of all form. And then what it also means is like opposites, night and day, masculine, feminine, good, bad, you know, everything that has to do with opposites. Because it's kind of like there can't be night without day because there's no contrast. And then even yet another way of looking at yin and yang, because here's the fun thing about this, it's like you take one concept and there's many different viewpoints on it, is you can look at it as a classification system. For example, if I say, like, is a mouse yin or yang, what's the answer? What is a mouse? Anyone? Yes. The answer is compared to what? It'd be like saying, is a mouse big or small? Well, compared to what? Compared to an elephant, it's small. Compared to an ant, it's very big. And so yin and yang works the same way. You can't have yin without yang, and vice versa. So if you do this, if you think of this as yin, and this is yang, it's kind of like a binary way of just classifying something that's here. Well, is it yin or yang? Compared to what? Compared to something here, it would be yin. Compared to this, it would be yang. And so that's yin and yang. So know that yin and yang is constantly changing and constantly moving. And so there's no, let's say, absolute of yin and yang. And so what this also means is a symbol, and that's why we have the symbol here, is it means mind and body, is what that means, because sometimes mind and body work in opposites. Anyone had that experience? I'll give you a good example. Not wanting to get out of bed in the morning and keep putting the snooze button. The body's just very, very tired, but generally the mind is very active. And yet at the same time, the night before, you laid in bed and the mind going this, da, 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 da. Very, very active. And so sometimes they can work in opposites. One of the purposes of the Eastern arts, of the yoga, the Zen yoga, the Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Qigong, is to bring the mind and body into harmony. And so they're not fighting against each other. And so these characters right here, this is Chin, and this